Wind up, Jason! Your work isn't finished!
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Let's dance, asshole!
So I realize that there's going to be some people out there that like this film, and there's going to be some people out there that don't really care about this film, which is perfectly okay because at the end of the day, everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. But personally, to me, I enjoyed this film mainly because I grew up watching it, and it was just a movie, just like all of these other movies that I talked about on my channel, that I used to watch every Halloween season. So I just have that special connection with this movie, mainly because it was a big part of my childhood, just like some people out there that might stumble across this video that could relate to me in a way when it comes to this movie being a big part of their childhood as well. So I have that soft spot for it, if you get what I'm trying to say. But I do understand when it comes to some people out there that don't really care about this film as much. So I just want to share my own personal thoughts when it comes to this film, when it comes to, you know, certain parts of the film that I really enjoyed. So if you guys have anything you want to say, like I mentioned in the early part of the video, be sure to let me know everything in the comment section down below. So one of the very first things I do want to touch on when it comes to this movie is the relationship between Casper and Wendy, because they both feel like outcasts in their own worlds. Casper as a friendly ghost, and Wendy as this kind-hearted witch. And this mutual feeling of isolation is what truly draws them together, because their friendship is very innocent, sweet, and built on understanding rather than any kind of power dynamic, which makes it stand out in a world where ghosts and witches are typically enemies. For example, when Casper comforts Wendy after her aunts criticize her, it shows the depth of their bond. They genuinely care for each other, and that makes the relationship one of the most touching parts of the film. Their friendship is a reminder that it's possible to find true connection with someone even when the world around you says it shouldn't happen. And I love how the relationship grows naturally throughout the film without any forced moments. It's refreshing to see such a pure, positive connection, and that's one of the reasons I find the movie so endearing. Casper and Wendy's relationship truly brings out the best in both of their characters. And the film also leans heavily into the supernatural, but it does so with a playful tone. Wendy's magic and Casper's ghostly abilities are used more for fun rather than anything truly dangerous. Wendy's aunts try to use their magic for mischievous purposes, while Casper's uncles are always up to ghostly pranks, and this keeps the film light even when magic and ghosts are involved. One example is a scene where Wendy's aunts try to cast a spell to glamorize themselves, but end up with hilarious backfire, showing how magic in the movie isn't meant to be taken too seriously. Similarly, Casper uses his ghost powers to help Wendy, but it's always done in a friendly, non-threatening way. And the magical and ghostly elements add a whimsical layer to the movie, blending these two worlds in a way that's enjoyable and fun to watch. And the film knows how to strike the right balance, never letting the supernatural overpower the story, but enhancing it with light-hearted moments. Desmond Spellman, the movie's main villain, provides a lot of the comedic conflict. His over-the-top personality and obsession with eliminating Wendy because she's a threat to him feels more silly than truly menacing. He's vain, constantly fussing over his appearance, and his magical plans are far from foolproof. And a great example of this is when Desmond spends more time admiring his reflection than actively trying to capture Wendy. His incompetence and overconfidence make him a source of humor rather than fear, which fits the tone of the film perfectly. His encounters with Wendy and the other characters feel less like dangerous moments and more like humorous obstacles that they have to overcome. And this portrayal of Desmond works well in a family movie where the villain needs to provide tension without becoming too frightening for younger viewers. And it keeps the mood light and ensures that the story remains fun, while still giving Wendy and Casper a worthy, if bumbling, villain. And Hilary Duff's performance as Wendy is one of the most memorable aspects of the film. Wendy is a young witch, but what sets her apart is her kind heart and her refusal to use magic for harm. She's different from her mischievous aunt, which makes her character much more relatable and appealing to audiences, and Wendy's innocence and optimism make her a joy to watch. One moment that stands out is when Wendy chooses to face Desmond alone, despite knowing that she isn't as powerful as he is. And this shows her bravery and willingness to stand up for herself and her friends, even without relying heavily on magic. Wendy proves to be smart, resourceful, and also courageous. And Hillary also brings a lot of heart to the character, making Wendy not just a typical child protagonist, but one with depth and strength. And this innocence combined with bravery is what makes Wendy such an enduring character, and it's why I always remember her fondly when thinking about the film. And one of the things I love the most about Casper Meets Wendy is its nostalgic charm, because as a 90s family movie, it embraces a lot of the elements that were popular in that era. Light humor, simple yet engaging special effects, and an overall feel-good atmosphere. There's something special about the way the film relies on practical effects and simpler storytelling, which is rare to find in modern family films. For example, the ghostly effects used for Casper and his uncles have a certain charm that feels nostalgic rather than dated. The magical spells, while not visually impressive by today's standards, add a fun, playful vibe to the movie that fits the tone perfectly. And the movie doesn't need flashy CGI or high-stakes action to entertain. Its simplicity is what makes it truly enjoyable. And watching Casper Meets Wendy brings back memories of those carefree days of childhood, where movies were all about fun and heart. And the 90s charm is undeniable, and that's a big reason why this film continues to resonate with me even years later. And Casper Meets Wendy is just this fun, feel-good movie that combines heartwarming friendships, lighthearted humor, and nostalgic charm. The bond between Casper and Wendy is what gives the movie its heart, while the magical and ghostly elements add a layer of fun. Hilary Duff shines as Wendy, bringing both innocence and bravery to her role, while Desmond's comedic villainy keeps the stakes light. And for me, it's a film that captures the best of 90s family entertainment and remains a delightful watch every time I revisit it. But other than that, that's all I have to say about Casper Meets Wendy in this video. I just had a really fun time giving my overall thoughts on this film. I just wanted to sit down today and talk about Casper Meets Wendy because it was a film that I truly enjoyed. And like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I can understand that this movie isn't for everyone, because I do know that people do have mixed thoughts on this film. But to me personally, like I said, I had a lot of fun with this film, and I always look forward to watching it whenever I get the chance. Sit down and watch it again. It's truly a film I can go back at any time and watch it for nostalgia and have a good time with it. And it's also something I'm really happy I came in contact with, that I can add to a lot of my favorite childhood films that I used to watch when I was younger. But if you guys have any thoughts of your own when it comes to this movie, like if there's anything in specific that you guys wanted to say about Casper Meets Wendy in this video, be sure to let me know down below, because I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this film. If it's any good, if it's any bad, just be sure to let me know everything in the comment section down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys want to follow your boy on social media and see what I'm doing outside of YouTube, be sure to check out my Twitter, which I'm mostly active on. Be sure to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook page. All of that is located below. If you guys want to be notified whenever I upload a video on the channel, which is a good thing to know, be sure to click on that bell down below so you can get that little notification. So I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.